Welcome to the Top 5s on Tap podcast. I'm Hayden.
And I'm Josh. Every week we'll be discussing a new top 5. There'll be some facts, some trivia, so feel free to have a guest along at home.
Suggestions for new episodes are always welcome, so if you've got one, email it to us at top5sontap@gmail.com.
We'll consider all topics, providing they are somewhat quantified and aren't entirely opinion-based, because our opinions
Mean nothing. With all that being said, let's get into this week's Top 5.
Hello,
Hello.
and welcome back.
Welcome back.
Another episode.
We made it.
To number 9, almost 10 episodes.
Almost made it to 10.
Did you think we were going to make it to 10?
Yes, I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
It'd be a bit of a poor show to give up before
After
then.
like 3. Yeah, we've done all right, haven't we? Today's a good one. It's kind of gone a bit full circle from our first episode. We talked about
It's similar.
populations.
Back to sort of geography again. Yeah, human geography.
Yeah, so populations to now sizes of countries.
Yes, the largest countries by area.
And a little bit of tidbit of a clue in the image of our current episode
Okay.
is made up of a mega country.
Ah, yes, yeah. You may think, wow, I don't recognize the border of that country. That is because it is the
It's a Pangea-like construction.
it is from our own creation.
Of the top 5 largest countries you'll be hearing about today.
Exactly. So if you can figure out from the picture which countries they are,
Congratulations.
good going. Yeah,
That's
good going.
very impressive. Should we jump into it?
Yes. Well, actually, first, before we go, I'd like to just clarify something. When we're talking about the measurements for these countries in terms of area, includes the freshwater bodies contained
Yes.
by those countries as well.
And any
It's
coastal area or no coastal
Not
area?
sea, no seas, but
Lakes are included.
lakes are included. Yeah,
Thank you for the clarification on that one.
yeah.
As always, socials, subscribe, like, and all
Oh
that
yeah,
jazz.
follow us on Instagram.
Yeah. Subscribe on Spotify, turn on notifications, all that jazz.
Check us out on YouTube. I promise I will eventually get the rest of the videos on.
But I think at the moment Spotify seems to be our main. But
Yeah.
we're on
Well,
we're
yeah,
on Apple, we're on Google.
Make sure to subscribe on Spotify or follow whatever it's called. And
Yeah. Right, let's jump into it. Number 5.
5.
Number 5, we have Brazil.
Brazil.
Brazil at number 5 with a whopping 8.5 million square kilometres in area, which is big, but not that big. I've got it down as 5.6% of the overall total mass of the...
I got 5.7, but it's
5%.
rounding errors, isn't it?
It's here nor there.
Yeah.
Of total land mass of the Earth. Pretty impressive.
Would you like to know how big that is in football pitches, mate?
I would love to.
That is 1.19 billion football pitches.
1.19.
To put it in a, because everyone knows how big a football pitch is.
Of
So
course.
just imagine 1.19 billion of them.
We're talking soccer.
Yeah.
Soccer pitches.
Or something that makes a bit more sense, maybe 35 UKs.
35 UKs.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it's quite big. Do you know it makes up 47% of all of South America?
That
Is nearly half of the landmass of
that
South
makes
America.
sense,
Because
yeah.
it is, if you look at South America, Brazil is quite prominent. Being so big, it borders every country in South America, barring 2.
Yeah.
Do you know which 2?
Yes. Chile and Ecuador.
Chile and Ecuador.
We have read the same Wikipedia
This
page.
man knows his research. I already knew that fact, I think, before I read it. But yeah.
You know, it's the largest Portuguese-speaking country in the world.
More than Portugal.
Funnily enough, more than Portugal.
Portugal must be fuming.
Yeah. Exactly. They've had it stolen. Imagine having your language taken by another country.
Did someone from Brazil just come over to Portugal and steal their language one day and take it back?
I don't know. Well,
I think that's the history of it, isn't
I
it?
think that's what happens with English with America and
So something along
the
those lines.
Americas.
Do you know what the capital of Brazil is?
Brasilia.
Brasilia, it is.
Yeah.
Do you know what used to be the capital before 1956?
I'll say Rio de Janeiro.
It was. Rio was the capital for 196 years.
Yeah.
And then in 1956, I think some bloke came in and was like, right, we need to make the centre of Brazil the capital.
Yeah, they had this whole thing about like they wanted the geographic centre to be.
They wanted to take it away from the coast and like the colonial ancestry and stuff, I think it was. And like, 'cause
It
that's what
wasn't
the
a very
major
well
city-
thought out plan. They built it in the middle of a rainforest, miles away from any sort of building resources.
They built it
and
in
stuff.
41 months, an entire city.
Yeah.
Just under 4
It was
years.
incredibly hard to do, and I don't think it really even properly worked. But
It was, not the best idea.
they did it. They did it.
They did it.
No, it's the largest country in the southern hemisphere.
Is it
Yeah.
bigger than Australia?
Yes. Otherwise, that one might be on.
Oh, spoilers!
on the list.
Spoilers for all the Australian listeners out there, and there is some.
Yeah.
There is some Australian listeners.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
I think if Australia's bigger, Brazil wouldn't be on this list.
Australia are a close six there.
Yeah.
In case anyone was wondering.
But this is a bit of fun. But if
Fun-
you would
fun?
take Robert Wadlow,
Oh, I've heard of him.
yeah, and his height of
2.72 meters.
2.72 meters, and then you were to put two of them perpendicular to each other, that would be considered a square wadders. How big is Brazil in square wadders, Josh?
Just so you know, the correct term is squadders.
Squadders.
Yeah.
That's a squadders. Okay. How many squadders is Brazil?
Oh, square squadders. So that's what 2.5 meters squared,
Yeah.
and he's in kilometers. I can't do maths.
I'll put you out of your misery. It's 1.15 trillion squadders.
Beautiful.
So that's the metric we might be using from now on to measure these countries.
Is square wadders, aka squadders.
4.
In at number 4, controversially actually,
Oh yeah.
because for some reason whoever made the Wikipedia page has decided to only for this country to include all of the sea borders as well, the sea territories as well.
Yes.
Which so for some reason that does jump them up to third place, but in at number 4 is the USA.
Excluding those coastal borders.
Because why would you count it for just them? They're not special. You know, American exceptionals and only go so far, Josh.
Exactly. He was a little bit sore, wasn't he, that they came third. He really wanted to beat number 2.
9.525 million kilometres.
Yes.
Square kilometres, that is.
A big boy. Wadders? What's that looking like?
Squadders, that would be 1.29 trillion squadders.
A trilly squadders.
Yeah, or 39.1 UKs.
Yes. Yeah, big old place, isn't it?
Yeah.
So big. How many time zones do you think we're looking at in the US? How many time zones do you think there are across the whole of the US? And we're going to include the two parts that aren't part of the US but are part of the US, known as Hawaii and Alaska.
Right, okay.
How much do you think they'll be?
So if I just
partition it out in your own head.
yeah, just calculating,
Yep.
processing, I'm going to say 6.
Oh, excellent guess. Fantastic. I can give you the names of all those 6 if you like. So we have the Hawaii time zone.
That's
the,
very, very aptly named.
the Alaska time zone.
Okay, yeah.
The Pacific time zone.
Okay.
The Mountain time. And that's my favourite one, Mountain time.
Mountain time.
Central and Eastern. So 6 in total, including Hawaii and Alaska. So 4 on mainland.
Okay, yeah.
Kind of 2 on the additional state
Well,
territory.
that's just states in it, because I suppose if they did like all the territories, they'd have like Midway and
that's
stuff
true.
like that, and,
Oh, yeah.
all the little islands in American Samoa
Is
and
that still
stuff.
there? It's like Midway and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There'd be loads then.
They'd
Yeah.
have loads.
I think France has got the most time zones, I think, doesn't it? You consider
right,
like
yeah,
all it's
yeah.
like Montserrat and all that kind of stuff.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
It's got 2 land borders.
It does.
Yeah.
With Canada and Mexico.
Canada and Mexico, yes.
It does, yes. But you know how many seas it has?
How many seas?
How many seas it borders?
Seas or oceans?
Let's go oceans, because seas are notoriously difficult.
Yes. There's not clearly defined the number of seas.
Yeah.
But the number of oceans, I'm going to say, well, it's got Atlantic
Of course.
and it's got the Pacific.
It does. But can you think of any others it might border?
Am I missing? I'm missing one.
Good old Alaska.
Oh, the Arctic Ocean.
Of course.
Right.
The Arctic Ocean. Yes. Nice.
That's
3.
easy to miss that one, isn't it? 'Cause
It is, yeah, you forget, because you think, I'm assuming Canada does the Arctic, because the US doesn't really quite go that far, does it?
Yeah. Also, when you see it on maps, Alaska's always like down south somewhere, isn't it? You know,
But just split off
Yeah.
completely with a really
just
straight
in the sea-
coastline.
a big island in the sea
It's got a
somewhere.
really straight eastern coastline, doesn't it? Like, little last fact for you. Myanmar, Liberia, and the USA are the only 3 countries to not use what?
The metric system.
Yes.
They still use the imperial system.
How on
yeah.
earth do they still use that?
Well, I blame for Liberia's innocence. I blame America for that. as
They
well.
dragged them into that.
Yeah,
haven't
they've dragged them into that one,
It's a
yeah.
package deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, good on Myanmar and Liberia for keeping
With it.
keep going despite
Yeah.
the rest of the world turning away from it many years ago.
I think for the most part, Americans, obviously, for any international communication, will use metric.
Yeah.
But for the everyday, I mean, we have some sort of weird hodgepodge anyway, don't we? So
anything. It depends what it is. Like if you imagine like beer pints,
yeah,
But
Measuring distances, it's miles.
yeah. Then it all varies, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit all over the place.
Yeah, someone made a nice Reddit post, I remember, a while ago. It was like, what are you measuring? It was like a yes/no diagram.
Oh,
And it was
right,
like,
yeah,
is it It's like in the UK.
Yeah.
And it's just nonsense. Yeah, we can't throw too much shade on
Is it weight of a person? Stones. Nothing else is measured in stones. You don't look like, oh, how heavy is that car? It's 300 stone, do you? Like, it's only people we measure in stone.
Yeah, exactly. It's silly, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we can't throw too much shade, can we, on our US compatriots? But yeah. On to number 3.
3.
So at number 3, we have
China.
China. That soundboard coming in use, of course.
Definitely bigger than the USA, no matter what borders you want to include with the USA.
Of course. 100% bigger. 9.7 million square kilometres, I'll get down as.
I got 9.59
Oh,
because America was 9.52.
okay. I found some extra square kilometres you've not located.
Maybe so, yeah. I think it's disputed territories, you see, of China.
Maybe I've included them all in.
Yeah.
So, around 6.3% of the world's overall landmass.
This list excludes Taiwan, disputed territories with India, and disputed islands in the South China Sea.
Maybe I've gone, you know what, I'll end these disputes right now and include them all.
Once and for all, China wins.
Love you, China.
How many squatters
Squatters?
is China, Josh?
I mean, I can't remember the last figure. What was the last figure? Like
1.29 for the USA.
Only slightly bigger then. It's probably like 1.5 trillion.
1.3, mate.
1.3.
Not that big.
Not that much bigger. Oh, I suppose, there is. Those coastal lines really send it over the edge, don't it?
Yeah.
So
39.4 USA, UKs. Sorry.
UKs.
No, not the UK.
1.001
Yeah.
USA.
So 39.4 UKs.
Yes.
And the USA was 39.1 UKs.
Very close.
So they are very, very similar in size. Yeah.
I can see the posturing. I understand the reason for the
Exactly.
posturing.
They know they're close enough to leapfrog, so they went for it.
So China, big country, must have
Is indeed.
a lot of people.
I think it actually has the most people.
Spoilers from a previous episode.
Maybe, yeah. So if you're listening to this out of order, I apologise profusely.
Yeah, listen to them in order. It makes a bit more sense. You don't have to, but it will make a bit more sense. We've got to be able to refer to previous episodes, haven't we?
No.
No.
I have no idea who the longest reigning monarchs of any countries or states or whatever is.
You barely
so.
partook in that episode. Didn't even listen to anything I said.
That's a bit rude.
More than 100 Chinese cities have a population of more than 1 million people.
That's pretty impressive, that.
100 cities of 1 million people. That's crazy. And we did some growth facts back in the population time, but I learned this one recently. Hong Kong, 1980,
Yep.
went from 4.6 million
Yep.
to 7.3 million. Quite a big jump.
Yeah.
Not double, but good 30-40% increase. Shenzhen, population in 1980, 58,000 people.
Yep.
Now a population of 10 million people.
Wow. It's a good jump, isn't it?
That is a big jump.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people moved there, obviously. It became a bit more of a growth centre, but still, bigger population.
How many land borders does China have? Would you guess?
I'm not guessing because I know. 14.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I've got some stuff for you on that, but it looks like you're going to smash that quiz. This is not a what are the top songs of 2016 quiz at all. Before you mentioned about 39 times the size of the UK.
39.4 times.
39.4, sorry. I know you like to be specific.
Well, it's just because America is also 39.1, so...
Apparently, that's if you're struggling to picture 39 times, that is apparently the equivalent of the Leaning Tower of Pisa compared to the size of an average UK woman. So compared to kind of, say, a 5'5" woman standing next to the Leaning Tower of Pisa, that is the height difference or the size difference between the UK and China.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So if you're struggling to do football pitches or square waters, if they're not your thing.
And then if you to use that same analogy, if you like take a few bricks off the top of the Leaning Tower of Pisa, that's the USA.
That's the USA. There you go. All in Pisas.
How many seas is China bordered by?
How many seas?
This is seas, not
oceans.
Not oceans.
I'm not
no.
very good with seas, you know.
I don't think you'd get these.
So
There's a famous one that's in the news a lot.
the South China Sea.
The South China Sea is one of them. Yeah,
That's disputed, isn't it?
you could probably guess another one based on that naming convention.
The Japan Sea,
The East China Sea,
East China Sea.
the Huanghai Sea, and the Bohai Sea.
So there's not 7 seas used to be 5 oceans, 7 seas, isn't
I
it? Is that not a thing? No.
the Seven Seas, I think, is from like Pirates of Penzance.
Oh, so in their time there were 7 seas, but now we've found some more seas.
Yeah.
In the meantime,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a few more than 7, at least 8, I think.
2,
Number 2
Yes,
is Canada,
Canada.
north of the United States. Obviously,
Don't you know?
its actual only land border is with
It
the
is
United States.
just the one
Yeah.
land border.
Yeah.
What kind of area are we talking for Canada? How big is old Canada?
9.9 million square kilometers.
They're all quite not similar sizes, obviously, but in the region, aren't they?
Yeah, they're
Kind of
they're
second,
pretty-
third, fourth.
Yeah, they're pretty close. All within. If you're rounding them up, they'd all be the same amount. Yeah.
few 100,000, if that.
Yeah, it's look, Canada's jumped a bit ahead. It's 41 UKs,
Yes.
so an
yeah.
extra 2 UKs on there. 1.35 trillion squatters. Sorry.
Squatters.
Yeah, I don't want to get you confused with,
You don't want to confuse your squads and your wads.
linear and area distances. 6.7% of the total surface of the Earth.
Yeah, big old place, isn't it?
Big old place.
You've got very similar facts to I've got. I mean, I'm not going to trick you up on this one, I'm sure, but it's so big that it's surrounded by 3 oceans.
Yes,
Do you know it's 3 oceans?
I'm going to say the Pacific Ocean,
Yes.
the Atlantic Ocean,
Yes.
and is it the Arctic Ocean?
It is the Arctic Ocean. This man.
I don't know how I knew
knows
that.
his oceans.
Yeah. In fact, there may be 3 oceans, but there are 6 seas.
Oh, that's around Canada.
Yes.
You
There's no point trying to guess these.
the old seas that I've never heard of.
Well, they are seas, but there's also like bays and things that. are
Baffin,
seas.
is that a thing? Is
Baffin Bays,
Is
yeah,
that a thing?
Northwest Passages, things like that. So
Bering
Alaska
Strait.
Bay.
What's that? Is that not a sea?
No, but it's not. That's between Alaska and Russia.
Ah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not Canada.
Labrador Sea's one of them as well.
Labrador Sea. Never heard of that.
Have you not heard of the island of Labrador?
I don't think so.
Because that's where the dogs Labradors come from.
Is it actually?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Or at least they're named after that island anyway.
Ah, I see. Very interesting. Big waterfall in Canada.
Is there?
Yep. You know what it is?
No. I'm gonna guess Niagara, but I've never heard of it, mate.
It's a great guess. You've never heard of it because it's there. You know, it'd take only 1 second for that waterfall to fill up an entire Olympic-sized swimming pool.
That's actually a little bit disappointing. I thought it'd be quicker.
So apparently 5 minutes, it'd fill up 341 Olympic swimming pools.
Okay.
Think how big that though? Like 50 meters, like 8.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
eight
It's a lot of water. It's like poof in 1 second, but like it's a big old waterfall,
If
isn't
you
it?
saw an empty pool and it get filled up instantly,
Yeah.
you'd be like, "That's quite impressive."
How many states does Canada border? You know, we know it's only got one country
Oh,
border, but
okay.
how many states does Canada
Like
border?
actual physical land borders or water borders as well.
Actual physical borders. I'm not sure.
Because like Michigan doesn't border it like physically, but obviously water like.
Well, it does border it physically.
Does it?
Yeah, yeah. Not to the north, but to the south it does.
Oh, okay. Oh, of course.
'Cause Michigan goes like all the top
There's
of
parts of Canada that's not further south than the
If you
Michigan.
go
isn't
south from Detroit, you end up in
it?
Canada.
Yeah, that's the old little
Yeah.
fact, isn't it? So I'd go with, I don't know, Alaska for one.
Yes. Yep.
Washington,
Yep.
Montana,
Montana's there. Yeah.
Idaho.
Good one.
I'm trying to go across now.
You're doing well.
North Dakota,
Perfect.
and then we get to Illinois,
No.
bit too far south.
Yeah.
Then Michigan.
So Michigan is the next one over, but you've missed one in between North Dakota and Michigan. There's another M.
Vermont? No, not Vermont. Montana.
No, you've said Montana already.
Minnesota.
Minnesota, yes.
Minnesota. And then you keep going across. You get Michigan, and then
And you come a bit south then, you see, because Canada like jumps down a bit. so-
yeah, not Colorado. Nah, I'm a bit stumped now, mate.
Ohio,
Ohio,
then Pennsylvania,
New York.
New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine.
Nice, quite a few. How many is that in total?
It's 13 states
13
in total.
states in
Yeah.
total.
Yeah.
Very interesting facts.
Canada actually has the highest percentage of water on this list. 8.93% of the
Area.
land area is freshwater.
There's a lot of lakes in Canada.
How many lakes does it actually have?
100,000. 100,000 lakes.
It has over 2 million lakes.
I thought 100,000 was a silly guess.
No, it has over 200. It has over 2 million lakes, with 563 being greater than 100 square kilometers.
Wow, that's a lot of lakes, isn't it?
It's a lot of big lakes as well. Yeah.
Big old lakes. Yeah, I mean, a few of them obviously share the borders with the US, don't they? A few of the big boys. You know what they are? The three big boys that share.
Is there not 5 Great Lakes, or do they not all share?
So they're not sharing borders. Like Lake Michigan is considered all in the US, I think. Like
Lake Ontario,
yes.
Lake Erie, is that?
I think Superior is obviously
Lake Superior. That's the biggest.
The
one,
big boy.
Quite aptly named, funnily enough.
Although I don't think it is the biggest, though. You know.
In volume, it's not.
Yes, yeah. I think by area,
Yeah.
it's the biggest.
Yeah,
It's like how like the biggest lake in the world is.
I forget.
I mean, it's a bit of a tenuous one. The Caspian Sea is technically the biggest lake.
Oh,
in the
right.
world.
Okay. And I know there's another lake in Russia that's like...
the Baikal is
Yeah.
the
Largest by volume. Yeah.
It's like the deepest lake in the world as well, which makes sense for volume because it kind of needs to be deep.
You need a bit of both.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
don't want a really deep lock that's very narrow, do you? You need a big old...
Very shallow. Yeah. A very big but shallow lake.
A Mariana Trench type lake.
Marinara Trench.
Marinara Trench.
1.
And we've made it to number 1.
Oh my God.
It's a big step up from our previous runners.
Huge. We were just saying before about how they're all very similar, but these guys are just way out in front.
Yeah, so we're talking kind of around the 9.5, 9.6, 9.7 kind of million kilometers.
Yeah.
All the way up to 17 million
17 million. So like
square kilometers.
almost double the next on the list.
Yeah, they'd have to get like Canada and USA would have to form a pact to try and become number 1.
Yeah.
11% of the world's area. I mean,
Yeah.
you guessed it. If you don't know it already, you should know it now. It's Russia.
It's Russia. Yeah.
Are we going to hold the applause on this one because of current ongoing political situations? I feel like we shouldn't be clapping Russia.
Because to be fair, they are currently trying to increase the land area.
Not cool, Russia. Not cool.
Mate, you're already at the top. You're winning by a lot. There's no need for you to be going
Yeah.
out there trying to increase your land area.
Not like China with the one-child policy trying to
No.
limit. Like Russia aren't handing out land in like lotteries to like Georgia and Armenia, are they?
No,
That's
no,
what
no.
they should be doing.
what
They
they
should be going,
doing,
look,
yeah.
we've got loads of land here. You guys want some, you can have it.
Yeah.
But no, they're doing the complete opposite. So poor form, Russia. Poor form.
How many UKs is Russia?
Well, let's do some maths then. So Canada was 40. Am I right? That 40 point something.
Canada was 41, yeah.
41. So Russia must be at least 79 UK.
70. You
70.
overshot it a bit.
Overshot. My maths is a bit poor
Yeah.
today.
And how many squatters would that be?
Squatters, that would be 7 trillion squatters.
2.3 trillion squatters.
2.3 trillion squatters. Wow,
Exactly. Wow, indeed.
that's a big squad. I've learned an interesting fact on the way. Up until February of 1918,
Yes.
Russia was still using what?
Up until February
Of 1918.
1918.
The rest of the world had pretty much changed over, or at least most of Europe had changed over. What was Russia still using?
A monarchy?
Not, I think the UK still kept theirs.
Yeah.
So in the 16th century, the most of Europe changed over from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar.
Oh, okay.
but
right,
up until 1918,
It was still-
Russia
yeah.
was still using the Julian
Yeah,
calendar.
because I remember reading about this because it made it difficult for for communications with Russia and stuff.
So,
like.
so apparently this led to a mix-up in which the Russian Empire was 12 days late to the Olympic Games in 1908.
Oh wow,
Which is just comedically hilarious.
that's just such a bad idea, isn't it?
Oh, dear me. A fifth of all the world's trees are in Russia. 643 billion trees.
Wow.
And about 45% of the whole of Russia. So nearly kind of 8 million square kilometers
Yep.
is entirely trees. So they've got a lot of trees.
Yep.
But obviously deforestation is a thing at the moment. So less trees
Oh right, okay.
by the second, sadly.
Very sad. Rest in peace, trees.
Rest in trees.
Did you know that Russia is the only one on this list to actually straddle 2 continents
Yes.
with its main landmass? That is. I know people have
Turkey not across 2 continents, technically?
No, I mean,
Is Istanbul not considered?
on this list, Josh.
Sorry, on the list.
On the list, yeah. There's plenty of countries that do both, but
See.
I on this list, yeah, Russia's the only one to do that. If you split Russia into the two countries based on the the Eurasian line,
Yes.
where would they rank in the perspective splits?
Oh, I think the European side is very much smaller, I'm guessing. So
Yeah, but what I mean is that if we split Russia into the two separate countries,
what percentage is each, I think? What do we go down as numbers or percentages or?
we got it. Well, I've got it as numbers.
Okay, so I reckon the Europe side's probably like 1 million, 2 million square kilometres, something like that.
4 million square
Oh,
kilometers,
okay.
which
Bit-
then gives you the answer to the
bigger.
second part of the question.
So basic maths would tell me that's about 13 million.
That's correct. Yeah. Well, basically, the point I was getting to is that it would be the European side is the largest country in Europe,
Yes.
and the Asian side is the largest country in Asia.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So even if you split it up, it's still going to be the biggest.
And also the Asian side will still be the biggest country.
Yeah.
in the
full
world.
stop. Yeah.
Not only just in Asia.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Is what we're
It's
saying,
not a
isn't
large
it?
country. 14 land borders.
It does also have 14 land borders. You're going to smash this quiz later.
Yes, I am.
I hope you know them all.
Yeah. There's actually I saw 20 listed, but some of those were
Disputed territories,
Disputed
like
and-
South
and
Ossetia, and
more sea borders
like
again.
Abkhazia and stuff like that.
Yeah.
isn't
Yeah.
there? Do you have them down in front of you? The land borders
You can
countries.
scroll past them if you want.
I've
I've not memorized it.
I won't give them a go. I think I could do all right, but I don't think I
Yeah.
do that good.
12 seas as well. I'm not going to name them either because they're all very Russian sounding, and it would be redundant, I think, to just read off a list of Russian sounding seas.
I think so. Little last fact for you. Obviously, big country.
Large.
It's going to have a pretty long railway.
Oh, yes.
Do you know the longest railway in the world is in Russia?
The Trans-Siberian Railway.
It is. It is the Trans-Siberian Railway. Do you know how long it is? How long would you guess the Trans-Siberian Railway
Oh,
is?
wow. I'm going to say it is in kilometres.
Kilometres, yes. Yes, please.
Not watters, though. You're not going to trick me up here, are you?
No, not in orders.
In kilometres, it's going to be about 10,000 kilometres.
That's a good guess. 9,288.
Oh,
very,
not
very
bad,
good
not
guess. So that puts it twice the size of the second longest railway.
Is that also in Russia?
Not in Russia, no.
Oh,
It's
okay,
in
right.
another country on this list, though.
In the USA?
Not in the
Canada?
USA. In Canada.
Oh.
The Toronto to Vancouver Railway in Canada
Blimey, yeah.
is not even half the size of the Trans-Siberian Railway, but it's still, I imagine, a very long railway. So yeah, the journey from Moscow to Vladivostok, and it takes around 6 days to travel through the Ural Mountains and a whole lot of forests, because like we said before, 45% of Russia,
Yes, yeah.
all trees.
All trees.
So you're going to see a lot of trees as you're going.
Lots
You
of
get to go
tundra.
past Lake Baikal, see the world's largest lake by volume.
Oh, right. Very good.
So, yeah, I mean, I'd recommend it. Maybe not now. So, we'd normally say insert the clap. Do not insert the clap, Hayden.
Sorry, no clap.
No clap. But that's your number one. That's your top five. Let's talk about some.
Well, we can say, like, well done for being big, but stop getting bigger.
Wise words spoken by a wise man. Should we do some more light-hearted, interesting facts?
I'm ready for some bonus facts.
Yeah, me too. Me too. What have you got for me? Anything exciting?
Yeah. So we're talking about largest countries by area.
Yes.
What do you think the largest countries by perimeter would be?
Oh, that's a good one. So, like coastline.
Coastline and any sort of land borders included. Combo.
I think Canada's pretty big. I think Canada's number one.
Canada is definitely number one.
Because it has...
By more than double the next one on the list.
Yeah, if you
so-
didn't know, Canada has the longest coastline.
Yeah.
Because it has a lot of islands that have big coastline. Apparently I read Norway somewhere has a lot of coastline.
Norway's number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, coastlines are a bit dubious.
Because it's all wavy
Yeah.
and wiggly. Yeah.
Yeah, Norway's a cheeky one.
Number 3 is another one that's already on the list.
USA?
No.
Russia.
Russia, of course, yeah.
It's got to be big,
It's
isn't
just
it?
big, innit? It's just big.
Got to be big. Wait, so are we taking in Russia has very straight coastlines and very straight borders, I suppose, then?
What do you mean?
So as in, because obviously the perimeter of a border is dependent on how straight the border is.
Well, but for example, like not far off the top 5 is Chile, for example. Because
Okay.
it's so long and thin,
Yeah.
it's going to have much larger perimeter. If you have if you had a shape that was like, shorter sides but bigger area overall, it'd be always have a less perimeter than one that's like really long and thin.
Yeah, I suppose,
You
yeah.
just stretch it out,
But the area will be...
the same. If the area is the same, you could still get a perimeter that's
No, not for like a square shape, surely.
Yeah, that's how surface area works.
Is it?
Yeah.
My math just doesn't compute in my head. But I trust you. I trust your words on it.
So you have a shape that's like 2 by 2.
Yeah.
A shape that's 4 by 1 would be the same.
Yeah.
So the perimeter of the 2 by 2 shape
Yeah.
is 8.
Yes.
The perimeter of the 4 by 1 shape is 10.
Ah, yes. Yeah. That makes more sense now. Yeah, got you.
Anyway,
Thank you for that very simple explanation.
to finish off the perimeter length list.
So Chile at 5. So
No, Chile's off the list, but I was just using that as an example.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
So number 4 is another coastline based country. It's very much is mostly coastline.
Sweden.
No, it's a lot of coastline, like lots of separate little bits of coastline.
Oh, Indonesia.
Indonesia, yes, yeah,
AKA islands.
yes, separate bits of
How
coastline.
many islands does Indonesia have?
Yeah.
Hayden? Can you remember?
Oh, I can't remember.
Like 15,000?
It was a lot.
It was a lot of
yeah,
islands, wasn't it?
And then finally, unless China.
Of course. That makes sense. It's all adding up in it.
It is. It turns out if you're a big country, you're going to be on a lot of lists pertaining to the biggest things about your country.
Biggest countries or biggest land countries?
Biggest land countries.
Biggest land countries must have big land animals.
Land animals, right? Okay.
Tenuous, but it's a quick one. Do you know the biggest land animals of each country of the top 5?
Okay, right. So
What do you think? What do you think the biggest land animal in the US is?
the biggest land animal in the US is going to be the grizzly bear.
We're going by weight. As
By
well.
weight.
Yeah.
So it's going to be some kind of cow.
It's not a cow, no. I mean, it's probably classed as a cow. I don't know how the fauna.
Oh,
and fauna.
a bison.
A bison, a wood bison in particular.
Nice.
Heaviest.
They are pretty big to be fair.
They are.
Yeah.
They're like 1,000 kilograms, like a ton.
Yes,
They're
very big.
Pretty big boys. If you're in a national park anywhere, don't get close to a bison because they will murder you.
Without a thought.
Yeah,
Even accidentally, I think as well.
Yeah.
They would just like walk towards you and just like
Trample
smash
you.
all the bones in your body,
Yeah.
and you die.
It's not worth a selfie, honestly.
Yeah, they're very big.
Canada.
Canada. I'm also going to go bison.
It is. The polar bear is very tall, but in terms of pure volume and size,
Pure heft.
Bisons are hefty boys.
Yeah.
And to ruin it for you, Russia is also a bison.
Is it?
Different type of bison, but
Okay.
also a bison. So yeah, China.
Bison.
Can you imagine if they're all bison?
They get elephants in China?
Yeah, get elephants in
Get
China.
Asian elephants. in
Asian
China,
elephants,
right,
yeah. And then Brazil. I would be very impressed if you got Brazils.
All right, so I'm gonna tell it as a challenge then.
I did not know what this animal was until I played Far Cry. If that's any tips for you.
Oh,
Far Cry 2, Far Cry 3 maybe.
right. So it's a large animal,
A large mammal.
a large mammal,
A large mammal. Some clues here for you.
a large mammal.
It is not aquatic.
It is going to be a tapir.
Yes, very good. Very impressed.
Lovely stuff.
Yeah, big old tapir in Brazil. I literally had no clue what they were until I had to go and hunt one on Far Cry, and I was like, "Wow, is that an animal? Is that a make believe animal?"
It looks like a weird elephant.
Yeah, it's a very very odd looking animal. I've got some interesting facts for you.
Okay.
So, if you were to put all the land masses in the world in order, we'd have obviously Russia number 1.
Is we just in the list? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
but we are talking non-sovereign nations. So we are talking just pure land masses. Do you know what slots into number 2 if we discount sovereign nations?
So what do you mean by discounting sovereign nations?
So we're talking land masses.
land masses.
You'll work it out. So overall land masses in the world, we're just doing sovereign nations today. But
Oh,
if we-
like Antarctica.
Antarctica.
Right. Okay. Right. Yeah.
Antarctica slips into there at number 2 with a
Yes.
whopping 14 million square kilometres
That's
of,
pretty big.
of land. Now, Antarctica has
Yes.
had some claims made against it.
It has.
So people have gone,
They've
that,
divvied it up between themselves.
that bit of Antarctica, I'm having that.
Yep.
Now, we mentioned them briefly before. Number 6 on that list.
Okay.
Do you remember who that was?
Australia.
Australia. They're currently at around 7.6 million or so, just a little bit behind Brazil.
Right. Okay. Yep.
They've made a claim to Antarctica for a whopping 5.8 million square kilometres.
That's what they claim of Antarctica.
That's what their claim of Antarctica is. From 1933, they made a claim for the Australian Antarctic Territory, and they claimed 5.8 million kilometers of it.
Can I just say that accent was very convincing, Josh?
Thank you. If we were to accept their claim and to include Antarctica as part of their country, we would have a new second place.
We would, yeah.
Brazil would be no more, and Australia would jump up to 13.5 million kilometers
That's not bad.
of area.
I imagine there'd be some shifting between China and the USA if that was also.
Neither of them currently have claimed any territory.
Have they not of the Antarctic?
No.
Oh,
They've kind of like made their claims, as in like we would like to make a claim to it, but no one have actually claimed any. So you've got Norway who claimed 2.7 million kilometers of it. The good old UK who've claimed 1.7 million kilometers.
Only 1.7? Oh,
so we've claimed.
sad
I think I worked out a while ago. I think we claimed about 9 times as much of the Antarctic as we actually have
yeah,
a country.
sounds about right. Yeah.
I think we're like two.
So we're running out of space. There's loads of space over there.
I think we're like 270 square, like 270,000 square kilometers.
Are we holding out for when climate change eventually ruins the planet so much we can all move to our massive homes in Antarctica?
Maybe. Can you imagine the size of our houses? There's so much land to go around. Argentina's made a claim. Chile's made a claim because they're obviously quite close.
Yeah, quite close. Yeah. That's fair
New
enough.
Zealand's also made a claim as well.
Yeah.
France and Norway have another claim as well for a very small part of it.
Ah,
A
right,
little
okay.
island called Peter, the first island.
Oh, that's a nice name for an island.
But, there's still quite a lot of it unclaimed though. There's still a big chunk. So
Oh, maybe we need to get down there then.
So that total, you're probably talking about 10 million square kilometers have been claimed. So it's about
All right.
good 4 million square kilometers available.
Perhaps we need to go and claim some for the podcast.
Top 5 on tap territory.
Yes.
Top 5 on territory.
Overseas territories.
But I think in this one we've done a roundabout. We've very much not included overseas territories, really, have we? I mean, we kind of have, I suppose.
Yeah,
the US. And,
overseas territories included,
Yeah.
but they're not. I think for a lot of these countries, they're not really significant.
no, they're very, very, very little,
Yeah.
aren't they? Like I suppose if kind of Denmark made the list of including Greenland and stuff like that, or the Kingdom of Denmark.
Yeah, Greenland's not that big though, is it? Really?
It's quite big.
It's smaller than Australia though.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. So it wouldn't bump it up the list,
Yeah.
but reasonable in size.
It'd be up the list somewhere, but it wouldn't be on the top 5.
No.
So obviously, this is we've done the top 5 largest countries currently.
Yes.
But there's been many nations that have come and gone in the past.
There is.
Do you want to have a go at trying to name some of these the top 5 largest ever empires?
Oh, empires.
Yes.
I don't have it in front of me currently, but I did research it 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I think the British Empire is up there.
With 35 million
Square kilometers.
square kilometers.
What's that? So
That's twice
that's
Russia.
double Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 145 times larger than the current UK. So we've lost a bit.
Lost a few percent here and there. Lost the full 99.5%.
It was 24% of the total landmass of the UK of the
Wow.
world was part of the British Empire.
Yeah, and I think population-wise, we were at something ridiculous as well. weren't
Yeah,
we,
it was at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah. Or 4.8
Um,
trillion square waters if you're
Thank you.
squatters.
Yeah, I did. I like that.
Yeah.
Squatters. We'll get it. We'll get it going.
So number 2 on the empire list,
Mongol Empire.
the Mongol Empire. That's correct.
Mongol.
24 million. So quite a drop down from the British Empire.
Yeah, not quite big. They like to get around in the Mongols. Like to move around a lot on horseback.
Yes. Yeah.
Very, very nomadic people. Mongols. Yeah.
Yeah. It spread very quickly and then shrank very quickly again.
Yes.
It's fractured into
It
like 4 or 5 empires
Struggle
after
to maintain
when
the
Genghis Khan died.
the whole of it. Qing dynasty or something like
That's number 4 on the list.
that. Number 4. The Mughals. Are they up there?
No. This one it's already been on the top 5 list
Okay.
in a different format.
Oh, the Prussian Empire.
The Russian Empire.
Oh, the Russian Empire.
Yeah. The Russian Empire at 22.8 million.
When was this dated from? You know.
This would have been up to 19. Well, whenever it reached its height in like the 1918 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
1914. Yeah.
Just right at the turn of the Gregorian calendar.
Before the Russian Revolution, effectively.
Ah, right, okay. And then after that, then the Soviet Union got formed.
Well, the thing is, the USSR was 22.3, so they lost a bit of land
Okay.
after the revolution, but still pretty big.
What did they have then that they lost to the USSR? Where was it expanding?
When it changed from the Russian
what
Empire?
what was the Russian Empire containing that the USSR didn't?
I think that it lost certain principalities that were held by the title of the king of Russia. If the Tsar would have held like titles to lands that were
Right, so
lost,
not necessarily
yeah.
directly connected to Russia.
But they're part of the Russian Empire
Yeah.
held by the Tsar. Then,
Yeah, so
then
not-
when it became USSR, it lost some of those bits.
So the USSR was basically that one big clump, wasn't it? One big country all joined together.
Exactly. Yeah.
So they got all the territories, kind of like the UK, I suppose, did with its British Empire. It wasn't all one big landmass connected.
Yeah.
There's
Exactly,
many different landmasses.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, that's actually a good, interesting fact. We talked about the list. The top 5 list.
Yes.
The largest contiguous country on the list, as in
Contiguous?
it's all joined together.
Oh,
not-
continuous.
No, contiguous means
Contiguous?
like, yeah. Things that are next to each other.
Oh,
Yeah.
did not know that.
The largest contiguous country on the list is
Brazil?
Brazil. Yeah. All the others are all got little islands and stuff. But
Yeah.
Brazil is one to itself.
There's a big chunk. Oh, the Spanish Empire. I don't think we talked about them on your list, in your top 5.
Oh, we might have missed them off. Yeah.
Yeah. Number 5, Spanish Empire.
Yeah.
Just slightly smaller than the Qing dynasty.
Sorry, Spain. We apologise for missing you off the list. So there we go. I think that's the best time to end, really.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's a good little finishing point. Lots of facts today. Plenty of facts.
It was a fact-heavy podcast.
It was like a lot of our podcasts, though, I think, as well.
Yeah, we try to impart as much information as we can. We just hope that like at least 1 or 2 things stick, so you can go and tell someone
Yeah,
an interesting fact, and then they go, "Oh, where'd you hear that?" Oh, I heard that on Top
Oh,
Five on Top podcast.
that would be some very good viral marketing that
It
we
would, yeah.
we very much appreciate. And yeah, of course, as always, please tell your friends if they think they like the podcast. Share it with them. Share the Spotify, share the Instagram posts. Just share. Who are we saying goodbye to today?
Oh,
Hayden needs to profusely Google how to say goodbye in another language.
quickly.
Who have we done that we've not done?
Well, I mean, we've got a few countries on our list today, obviously, because it's a country-based one.
We do. You could say goodbye to the people in Canada.
No, because they're on the list, mate.
Oh, of course.
I've got to apologise. I'm saying goodbye. I'm sorry.
Ah, yes. Sorry, I forgot. That is your catchphrase for the episode.
I suppose we could say au revoir, though. Au revoir to our French listeners.
Have you not done au revoir yet?
I don't think I've done au revoir yet.
We skipped the most simple one.
Yeah, but I think yeah.
But to our French listeners, but not to the ones that live in Canada.
If you're a French Canadian,
This is not to you.
This is not to you. I'm not apologising to you because you're on the list.
Yeah, you made it.
But to our French listeners who didn't make the list,
Yes.
au revoir.
Thank you.
And keep listening, and one day, like potentially last week, you might make the list.
Josh tries to remember when France appeared on last week's list.
At the very top, I believe.
Josh tries to remember what episode we did last week.
Longest reigning monarchs.
Josh remembers now.
Spoilers. Bye-bye.